welcome back to our channel, Louis in the Cab. Today I'm just going to run through the basic electrics we're going to put in the back. It hasn't all turned up yet, so might have to do it over a couple of parts as it turns up, but I'll just give you a rough idea of what the plan is, and we've altered the van around a bit inside, so I'll see you in a second. The electrics in the back of the van are going to be based around this leisure battery and this inverter. I'll talk to you more about them in a second when I just want to show you roughly where they're going to go and the plan of charging them and that. If you see the last video of the van, we had a shelf like this going across, and then this shelf was further back, but I got fed up with the rattling and the lack of space, so last night me and Keith moved this shelf down. I put the rattly shelf in his van, and he can't hear it because it's got bulkhead, and he's a solid bulkhead, and he can't seem to hear it. Plus he's got his rock and roll blaring out, so he can't hear it. So we moved that toolbox up there. That now goes up there. The other toolboxes go here. I don't know where you can see it because the sun's quite bright out here when you come out of the van. Other toolbox here. The compressor will go sort of here. That leaves me enough room to put in my stand for the strimmers and the chainsaws, and the toolbox I normally sort of drag around the site can go in the middle, in between. And this is just stuff we've pulled out. Like I say, we've had to keep putting the stuff in and out the van so we've got make sure we've got enough room. But yeah, the idea is the battery's going to go on here. I've just got to figure a way of sort of clamping it on, and then I'm hoping to put the inverter on here. Not quite too sure about it at the moment because it won't fit crossways, it only fit like upwards, and I'm worried about the damp coming off the roof and dripping into it. But if I put it the other way up, so it's upside down, I won't be able to see the voltage needles on it, the gauges on it. So I'm sort of still a plan in action, but it will alter. Now we can see that, but that's the batteries on the shelf there. There's a couple of holes in front of it, so I can probably make some brackets up. Hopefully make some brackets up to hold it. Oh, some holes on that side as well, just there, look. Oh, that shouldn't be too bad then. But that battery weighs a ton, absolutely. That is so heavy, that's unbelievable, that battery. Because it's a leisure battery, that's why it's heavy. Heavier than a normal starter battery. I'm thinking that's going to go there. I don't know if we can see it. It's only cable tied on at the moment. It's cable tied at the top and the bottom, and the battery will be in there. And I don't know if I can reach the live lead. It's just sort of long enough to come around that way. It's not very long really. I suppose it's about 18 inches, maybe a bit longer. So that will literally just go onto the live, what is here. Yeah, like I say, I want to be able to see my gauges. And well, you can see them, to be honest, because you become light to darken. And the plugs will be the right way around. Like I say, I don't know how much you can see. But yeah, Lou's just gone down to get me a bolt because the bolt's missing out the clamp. I don't think I'll be using these clamps that come with it because I'm going to have me split charger bits and pieces. So yeah, I think it'll be alright there, about there. The compressor should be able to fit underneath it. If not, I can move it up and then I can just alter the holes in there. Right, I'll tell you a little bit about this inverter. It's as you can probably see, it's a 3000 watt. It peaks at 6000 watt. It's turbo fan cooled. It's got two sockets on it for the plugs to go in. The only problem I had with it so far when I've been trying it is it's got a soft start on it. Well, it's fine for a lot of things, but for the compressor it's a little bit too slow, so it tends to want to jam the compressor up. You could really do like just a kick up the backside to get it going, the compressor. But apart from that, it's pretty good. I mean, obviously a grinder only uses, well, my grinder only uses 500 watts, and it's probably peaking at about 800 watts to 1000 watts when you first turn it on, if that. So I mean, it's more than man enough for that. And obviously when you have chargers for the drills and that, they don't really need a lot to get them going. They just use the wattage what they ever need, they need. But like I said, for the compressor it's a little bit awkward, but that's why I went for this size, because I needed something for the compressor. But yeah, that's not too bad. I can't remember the price of it now, but I'm sure I mentioned it in another video. And like I say, once we've had it running for a little while, we'll do a proper review on it to tell you what it's like. Because I have used it a couple of times with the battery, but not actually rigged up in the van, so it's a job to say. But yeah, it seems okay. Like I said, what I've used it for, but like I said, the compressor, maybe you need a bit more power, or not have the soft start. And as far as I know, you can't take the soft start off, which is a bit of a pain. But there you go. So, just wired it up roughly to the battery, switch it on. You can see there, I can't actually see, I have to look and see what the voltage of that is. That battery's been sitting around for quite a while, so it may be a bit low, but what I'll do is I'll plug the grinder in and give it a go. Right, I've got the grinder plugged in, you can see. Little angle grinder. Turn it on. I'll see if I can fire it up with the best thing to the needles. Try to hold it still, holding it on the tripod. Ready? Yeah, don't take notice of this big long bolt I put through. I've just done it to hold it for now. There's two ways I'm going to charge the battery, and one is the split charging circuit, what will basically run off the cranking battery when it's over a certain voltage, and it will charge, and then obviously when that drops, you turn the engine off, and crank battery voltage drops, it will cut it off to this one, what will allow me to drain this battery basically and keep the crank battery still charged to start it. The second one I'm going to charge it is solar panel. Is with a solar panel. At the moment I'm only going to use a little one, a little like a top up battery charge thing. Was only about 4.5 watts. I'm just going to use that as a temporary measure. Still going to put the proper voltage, like a 10 amp voltage regulator in it, but later on I will go for a proper decent panel to put on the roof, what will probably be sort of 40 to 70 watt. Don't think I could go to a 100 watt one, just because of the size of it, the size of my roof compared to the van, so to the panel, size of the panel to the van, you know what I mean. And so like for now it's just a temporary measure, just to keep it topped up for when I'm not using it, the van, because I'm probably only using the van at the moment probably about 3 or 4 days a week, and I'm just thinking that'll help keep it just topped up, this little solar panel. and then I'll explain to you what else this battery is going to power. Right, a quick rundown of some of the stuff it's going to power. It's going to power, well, it's on the tripod still, so it's a little bit awkward. It's going to power the spotlights and the flashlight, having said, because I can't see because the sun's on it. It's going to power them, and plus we've got 2 more spotlights going up on the roof, as you know, as I've mentioned already in our video. And it's also going to run some stripped LED strips. I've actually made a mess up on the order, and I don't know why I did it. There was 4 strips in each packet, little strips in each packet, and I ordered 4, and I really only wanted 2, so 8 strips is what I was thinking. So I've ended up with 16 of these strips, but obviously Keith needs some for his van, so if I give him a packet it leaves me 12. And they'll all come for this battery. There's going to be, I'll say, the 240 side, there'll be some sockets put up, so that'll be powering them. So if I want to charge the impact drill or anything, I can actually charge it in the cab. And I think that's going to be it for inside for this battery. Them lights, them lights are going to be converted to LEDs, and these. I've only had one problem with them, these lights so far, and that was after the van had been parked up for about 2 weeks of Christmas time, and I did a job for about 6 hours, and I didn't think of it, and I left the doors open, or I hadn't quite shut this door properly, and the battery wasn't right flat, but it just wasn't enough to turn it over to start it. So yeah, so they're going to LEDs, and the idea, I think I want to at the moment I've blocked this switch off now, but I think this will be disconnected and put through here, and then I'll put a switch on it so I can actually switch them on and off anyway. Right, I'm going to try the compressor on it just to see. Yeah, it wants to boot, it wants to go, but it don't. No, I don't like that. Reset it. We'll try it again. No, see? You get it going. No, it doesn't like it. So that's what I was trying to say to you. It's just not got quite enough in it to do, mind you, I'm not quite sure how low the battery is in it now. It hasn't quite got enough. I've got a funny feeling if I drain the tank right down, it sometimes does it. We'll give that a go. Right, we'll drop the pressure. Oh look, yes. So we'll give it another go. Let's took it out the pressure. It does work. I mean, it'd get me out of trouble, wouldn't it? But it's just that if it cuts in when it just drops down, you know, that comes to start the motor again. I think when I tried it before, it works like every 3rd or 4th go. But obviously, if I get desperate and I'm out of air, it will get me out of trouble. It's come in handy already. I've just charged the camera battery a little bit with it, just so I can finish this bit. and I'm giving it a go on the impact battery. It's becoming so handy because my batteries are getting a bit knackered now, so literally I have to charge them. I've got 2 of these and I need to charge them basically for every service I do now, to do the blade. Well, they're sort of alright, but they go down overnight, so I could probably do 2 or 3 blades quite easily in one day, but you know, the next day it's flat, so you have to ask to charge it, so it's coming in handy for just for that even. But what I'll do, I'll leave this one sort of pretty much where we are now. When I put the split charging circuit on that battery, I'll show you how I'm going to connect that, or wedge the battery in, if you know what I mean. I think I've got it sussed out. I'm going to do it. And that'll be another video as soon as the stuff turns up. So hopefully this week I'll get the split circuit put on, maybe next week, depending on how things go and the weather and everything else. I've suffered a year without it, so another week won't hurt. But yeah, I'll get it done, and like I say, I'll film that as much as I can of that, putting that in. There's not a lot to it, to be honest with you. But it's just a matter of trying to thread it through the bulkhead. I think it's going to be the hardest part. I did think about bringing it underneath, but people keep telling me not to bring it underneath because it'll only get caught up on something. I don't know. And it still means I'll have to put a hole in the floor or something, what I don't fancy doing. So I've got to find a way for the bulkhead. Anyway, the battery's going to go back down because I only topped it up a little bit. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.